like this band? You like what they did tonight? That's awesome. They did a wonderful job. And now we'll let them take a break. Yeah, as you notice, it's a little stuffy in here. It's a little hot. And so our theme tonight is let's set this place on fire. No, I'm just kidding. Let's not do that. That's why we got some fans going on. For some reason, it's a little stuffy. You know, tonight I want to share with you just a little bit. I'm nervous. I've been nervous all week, and I just don't understand why am I so nervous? Because I work with teenagers, and I stand in front of them, and they could go ahead and play with their cell phones, and they could go ahead and make a lot of noise, and they could, just make a lot of noise, and it doesn't bother me. But I felt nervous to be able to share with you the sermon. And then I was told that I'm not really sharing it to you. I'm sharing it to God. I am, so this is not to you, to God. And I'm excited to hear. I was so, coming here, I was thinking, how in the world, how am I going to go ahead and be able to talk to you, to be able to speak to you? And I was thinking, maybe I should talk to you like a coach. I love coaching. I love to be able to coach and tell you what you're doing wrong, and to be able to say, okay, this is how you have to position yourself, this is how you have to move. And if you don't do that, you're going to run laps. Well, if you don't pay attention, you're going to read the Bible. Just keep on going, read it over again. But I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited. I know Pastor Robin and I have been, just brainstorming, ways to be able to bring out the message, to be able to put it on Facebook or social media, and be able to share with what's out there, Parish, Bradenton, Palmetto, everything that's going to take place here. We are blessed of what we have. You can't understand how blessed we are to be able to have a facility like this, to be able to, a lot of times we started at home, or we started in a building, we started here in a school. And so tonight's message, I'm going to talk to you a little about inviting. I'm going to tell you that, we are on a mission. We need to be on that mission. And we need to be able to not just only invite, we need to go ahead and just grab somebody and bring them here. And so I'm glad you're here tonight. I appreciate it. But the thing is, I'm going to tell you that if you have your Bibles, okay, if you have your Bibles tonight, I want you to open it up to Mark 2, 1:5. Mark 2, 1. Mark chapter 2, verse 1. A few days later, when Jesus again entered Capernaum, the people heard that he had come home. So many gathered that there was no room left, not even outside the door. And he preached the word to them. Some men came home. Some men came, bringing to him a paralytic, carried by 4 of them. Since they could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus, and after digging through it, lowered the mat. The paralyzed man was lying. When Jesus saw the faith, he said to the paralytic, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Lord, I thank you for the word. I thank you for allowing us to see the truth and the meaning. And I ask that tonight we share the truth and we share your love to those that are listening. In your name, amen. Tonight I want to kind of talk to you about 4 men on a mission. And earlier, how I brought this out, I said 4 men, 1 purpose, 1 goal. 4 men that has a friend that's paralyzed, that can't move around, that just can't go anywhere. And these 4 men saw that he needs Jesus. And in that time, these 4 men were trying to plan something. And they were trying to figure a way how to get to Jesus. And these 4 men believed that Jesus was the answer. And the 4 men any length to bring their friend to Jesus. Because these four men thought that Jesus was the happening thing. Because every time Jesus is around, he's preaching, he's teaching, he's healing people everywhere he goes. When people see him, they surround him. They literally mob him. Now you need to understand, back in those days, there's no Secret Service. So you got the 12 disciples that come in later, but these guys, everybody's around him, surrounding him, and they're not giving him room to move around. So when he goes into his home, just imagine Jesus inside his home and it's packed with people. Just imagine, how I look at it is imagine the smell of the house. Because, and they didn't have deodorant that we wear today. Hopefully we're wearing deodorant today. So these guys have to develop a plan. And they have to figure out, because what they look at is, they look at the important part of this is their friend that they truly love needs to see Jesus. Needs to see Jesus because they believe that Jesus is ill. So what they did is, they saw that Jesus was in the home. They saw how packed it was. Back then, you got to understand, most homes were a square box. And they were made of clay, stone, all certain kinds of tile and plastering. And on top of the house they had some wood up there with some leaves and some kind of plaster that protects from the rain to fall down. And so this house, being square in dimension, was so packed that they could not figure out how to be able to get inside the home. And at least, just carry their friend in there. Because they couldn't walk. So these men, they felt like they had a problem. They had come up with a solution. I can only imagine what was running through their head. There's no room in the house. They can't get close enough to the door. They can't get close enough to the windows because of the crowd. Do they accept the challenge? Or they just walk away from it? Do they see it as a waste of time? I don't think so. For some reason I just went out. But they see it as a waste of time, but they don't think so. These four men come up with a plan of all plans. They're going to break into someone's house. So, now, I don't support breaking into someone's house, but for Jesus, I would do it. And so these guys, they don't care. They don't care if they ruin the roof. They don't care if they upset the meeting. They don't care who's in the house with Jesus. And they don't care about just anything that takes place that challenges them to get in the house. But what they do care about is their friend who's sick. They care so much about their friend that they're risking everything to be able to get them inside there to see Jesus. Nothing else mattered. They're on a mission, and nothing was going to stop them before they reach their objective, because their friend needs Jesus. So, imagine these guys climbing on the roof, getting up there, trying to pull towel after towel off of there, be able to create this hole. What would you do for a friend? Well, these guys, they accomplished it. They tore the roof. They end up, they see Jesus down there. And lo and behold, right there in front of Jesus is a space. Now, according to Scripture, it tells you that that place was packed. There was no room in the building. There was no room in that home. But I'm going to tell you, there was room in front of Jesus. They said that the crowd, I'm sorry, I lost my space. It's a small iPad. So, they said that the room was full, but they were wrong. I want you to think about it, that if a room is full and there's still space, wouldn't you think that Jesus allows you to be with him always? Can you just see that there's always room for Jesus to enter? There can never be enough because Jesus is always there. Jesus always allows you to be with him. So they said that this place was crowded, but it wasn't. They said the room was full, but they were wrong. They said all this stuff, but Jesus is always there. Jesus always allows enough room for you to come in, to be there with him. The room is quiet. The crowd is silent. Sunlight is streaming down the hole of the roof. And there's Jesus, just standing there, watching quietly while this man is this man is lowered down to the ground. Then he looks up anxiously and sees the 4 men on the roof. And he says to them, he sees their faith. He sees their faith. Then he says to the paralyzed man, your sins are forgiven. He didn't stop there. In chapter 11, it goes on and says, he tells the man to get up and go home. How amazing is that you, by Jesus will go ahead and just tell you, after you've been paralyzed, you can't walk, you can't move, but he tells you to get up and walk. That's my Jesus. My Jesus sees a broken and restores that. He sees someone that is just suffering and he accepts them. He allows the sinners to come to be with him and not just stay away from him. You know, Jesus in this story, how I look at it is, we're just like that paralyzed man. And we are the ones that need him, that seek him, and are we willing to be able to get there to him? But how is it? Were we being invited? Do we need to be invited? Can you go up? Can you say, Jesus, I need you. I praise you. I want you, Lord. I need you every moment of the day. Because I tell you, in today's time, it is so hard to be able to live without him. This guy was broken. Jesus restored him. God prepares us and equips us to do mighty things in his name. In Ephesians 2:10 it says, we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works that God prepared us in advance to do. In John 14:12, it tells us, Jesus tells his disciples, whoever believes in me will do the work I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I am going to the Father. You know, Lord, greater things than these. Those 4 guys, those 4 men were willing to do anything possible to get their friend to Jesus, because they see that Jesus is the answer. Where do you see Jesus today? If you're broken, is he the answer? Yes, he is. He is the answer. 100% he's the answer. So I want you to think about that. God is a grand adventure for us. He is preparing us to do mighty things. But what is his grand adventure? To this mighty thing that we can do in his name. There's no mightier or greater thing that we can ever do that is valued by God than to bring someone to Jesus. Just like the 4 men did for their friend. Jesus says, there is rejoicing in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents. In the Bible, in the Message version, it says the angels are throwing a party every time one lost soul turns to God. I like that. Because just imagine you bringing a friend to church, inviting them, bringing them here, and they seek God. The angels are celebrating. God is just smiling at, because of just you believing, you trusting. Now I want you to think for a minute. I want you to think about those 4 guys that invited their friend, that brought their friend to Jesus' supper. They brought their friend Jesus to be healed. He wasn't invited, they just brought him. They physically took him there to Jesus for Jesus to go ahead and believe that they have faith. He saw that, the faith they have in him. In the world that we live in and stuff, we kind of live in the life of the Andy of Mayberry. You remember Andy Griffin? Well, everybody's just so nice and pleasant, good neighbors, loving folks. A couple of episodes he would show them in a church. But in all episodes, did you ever see them giving praise to Jesus? They didn't need to give praise to Jesus because they had Andy there. So that's what the episodes really show, that Andy was the answer. Andy's not the answer. Jesus is. The show was great. I like the show. But I want to tell you that with good meaning and good character shows truly what we can stand in the world we live in today. And I want to tell you that we don't need to live in Mayberry and trust in, the people that are around us. What we need to do is trust in the Lord, because He will allow us to be able to. He will protect us. He will guide us, and we live our days for Him. I want to share a story with you. A story that I read recently enough. I read about a young man that was a salesman. He had lost a major sale. He really counted on this contract, but he fell through, and he was really upset. So he called up a friend of his father, who was in the marketing manager business. It was a large business, and so he felt that this friend would truly understand what he's going through. And so during this conversation with his friend, he seeked guidance, because he wanted to share his frustration. He wanted to tell him, ask him all these questions of why he lost his contract. And this friend, he told his friend that, I guess you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Well, his friend told him that it's not wrong to think that way. What you need to look at is, it's not your job to make them drink. It's your job to make them thirsty. What are you doing to bring someone before God? What are you doing to go out there and invite someone to church, or a youth group, or a small group? What are you doing to be able to share the gospel? Because you know what? I'm going to tell you, we have Jesus. We know Jesus. We seek Him, and He's there with us. We know that Jesus is here and in our presence, because we love Him. We seek Him. He is always around us, because we truly believe that we have faith.
who do you know that you could invite to church